Hey guys, Deva here, and today I will show you the best counter builds against Alatreon across all weapons that is most likely the easiest to use but also deals the most elemental damage to easily pass the DPS checks. It gets worse and worse with the complaints. People have literally started a petition asking for an Alatreon nerf when the monster is not that hard. In fact, it has one of the most enjoyable combats and so many punishable moves for openings. You literally get free knockdowns for just doing elemental damage anywhere, aka elemental DPS check staggers. Just look at this.
No.
I think people are not struggling because of the difficulty itself, but because they use the wrong element or weapon or have not enough knowledge about how this fight works. I will clarify it again. If it's a fire Alatreon, you use an ice weapon, and if you're fighting an ice Alatreon, you use a fire weapon. That's it, that's all the fight takes. No water, no thunder, no dragon. They're not helping with the DPS checks because they don't do any noticeable amount of elemental damage at all. Dragon is okay for his Dragon Shift, but as long as it's max one player on the team, because he does not do any damage for elemental DPS checks in the first place, which is a fire or ice depending on which quest you have. I've made a complete guide and I will recommend to also check Consoe guide because it has some more information in addition of how the horn breaks work and how it stops him from shifting. The DPS check for Dual Blade Solo is 1060 elemental damage. That's about 3 blade tenses on the forelegs, and boom, his Nova is weakened and Alatreon will fall over. Eschaton Judgment will not kill you anymore if you normally chug potions. In multiplayer it's about 3 times higher, which requires more people to help with it, but I have tested it and it's possible with only one Dual Blades player to reach it. All my other 3 friends were using blast weapons or stickies. So as a Dual Blades player you can weaken the Nova on yourself in a 4-player hand. But why is it though? Because Dual Blades are almost 50% pure elemental damage, so they have some advantage over other weapons. Due to how bad elemental hit zones on Alatreons are though, the elemental portion of your Dual Blades against him is 30%, which means about 500 pure elemental damage out of 1500, which is the damage of a blade tense on the forelegs. And without to say much more, let's straight jump to the builds. Build number 1 are the KR Ice Dual Blades, and I know it's Alatreon parts, but I assume you have at least enough materials to craft just those 2 pieces. If you don't have KR Dual Blades, Safi's armor or Alatreon armor, you can use Safi Dual Blades or any other Dual Blade in the game with Sylvalos armor. Biotorus Dual Blades are just as good as Safi. The elemental DPS checks are a pure joke. In the worst case you will need a 4th blade dance if you use the weakest ice Dual Blade in the game. Don't let the resistance and defense fool you. This is not a defensive build on purpose, this is a max DPS build. It's what I'm using on the speedruns we do with my friends. Alatreon 2-piece bonus converts all your resistances into base element, and this compensates with a 70 less element that you lose for not going Safi 5-piece. But in addition, literally gain 350 defense and over 20 to 40 resistance to all elements. However, when you use the set bonus, you must always eat for elemental resistance up in the canteen, since it gives you a massive boost on your resistances and then increases your elemental damage further. You really don't need the 7th level of defense boost because only the 6th one gives you the elemental resistance bonus, but why not max it out when you're already there, so it's up to you. And I fit anyways all necessary skills in. I also put in my Alatreon build Speed Eating 3 because I think it's very useful buffing in the hunt faster and consuming healing items. Augments must be always 1 health regeneration for DPS uptime, but also survivability and the other 2 element. So build number 2 are the KR Fire, which are the strongest fire Dual Blades in the game, and even though they have blue sharpness, their stats are high enough to beat Safi with a white modifier, even though it's just 1%. Here again, the same build with small changes because of the fire doublets have less affinity, so we couldn't fit in speed eating 3. Also, dragon resistance is in there because it comes for free with a coil. It doesn't matter what resistances you use, I highly recommend to put on your mentals the skill recovery up, which increases your healing, lifesteal and Safi's healing bonus by 30%. So this build, you are not only very tanky, you deal max DPS and also have huge lifesteal, so you're kind of immortal while dealing the most damage possible. 3-piece Alatreon is never worth it, never go for it. It will give you in the best case 20 more element, but you lose 80 because you can't use the Safi 3-piece bonus anymore. So yeah, these are the best counter builds in my opinion at the moment. If you don't have them, it's fine, you don't need any meta stuff, just be sure to have at least crit element, max out element and 100% crit chance on your build. A lot of people think you really just need meta stuff and the strongest weapons in the game. No, you really don't. I show you the number, 1000 elemental damage is the DPS check. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and are able to craft these builds. I promise it will give you a much easier time farming him or helping SOS Hands. I know SOS Hands are mostly horrible because there are always people that don't research on how to fight him or are ignorant to follow the rules, and you see them running with the water, thunder element or blast. Yeah, you see a lot of people still using blast, that's hilarious. I was doing yesterday for my first time at Twitch stream and I did some SOS Hands. It's indeed a huge challenge. I plan on streaming more often, so be sure to follow my Twitch if you're interested in streams. Also leave a like and comment down below on this video of what you want to see next. With that said, I wish you all a nice day and happy hunting guys.